Hi everyone, my name is Katie. Welcome to my page Red's Stitchery and let's chat about cross stitching. Today, finally, first fall stitchy updates. I even changed the background on my table. So no typical pink background. I decided to go with something yellow orange to keep the mood. And I'm very excited to show you my first couple weeks of fall stitching. I was saving summer stitching till the very first day, and only on September 1st I finally dived into fall stitching. And we're going to see lots of fun things today. So first I'm going to show you my progress, then new starts, then a finish, and at the end I'm going to show you what I pick from my pile of fall stitching that I definitely want to try to start this season. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to my YouTube page and watch the video before this one where I showed you my plans for fall 2025. Plus, I showed you my collection of fall charts and kits. And I think I finally made my decision which one I am going to try to start. And for some of them, I picked the fabric. So I'm very excited to show you that and hear your ideas if you like my picks or not. Because maybe I'm missing something. I'll appreciate if you will point it to me. We're going to start with the progresses. So this is Sandy Orton, A Rose by Any Name, I believe the name of it. This is chart by Kooler Design Studio, designed by Sandy Orton. I will post a preview because I don't know what I did with the chart and I don't know where's my preview, but I do have it somewhere. I'm just keep moving the project. I think I finally achieved like 20%. I do still believe by the end of the year I will be able to finish these beautiful roses, including the beautiful blue vase underneath that, and that's all I'm hoping for till the end of this year. And then hopefully next spring around April, May, I will finish this project fully, but it's definitely not going to be a finish this year. So here's my good progress. Most of the flowers are ready. I'm almost at the vase. I still need to work on the greens, I believe, over here, and then finally I'm going to move on to those beautiful blue colors. But as for right now, this is progress on this project. Next, I'm very happy to show you, finally I put some progress in this project. This is Riolis Night Park. Amazing, beautiful, gorgeous, such a vibe. I love this project. I fell for it the second I saw they released it. I started in 2023. I finally start working on it and I finally have a progress to show you. And there it is. As I told you before, this type of fixing my floss with wool acrylic, it's the most comfortable for me. If you've been watching my videos, I used it also on other Riolis wool acrylic kit, so I'm continue to do it over here too. If you watch that fall plans video, you've seen that for 2 years, the only stitching I've done, it's this part over here. And all of this is new. I hit the first side of this future finish, so I'm working on this element right here. As I told you before, everything black you see, you don't stitch, so you don't stitch black on black. It's going to be Ida showing that black color, but everything else you do need to stitch. And I decided to, instead of moving to the main characters, I decided to move to the side, and I really want to achieve a first corner, so I'm going to continue working on moving in here, and the goal for this year at least 25%. So I'm really hoping I will be able to do like 1/4 of the project, one corner, maybe moving a little bit here. I think moving to the moon will be very fun. Of course I want to move here because main characters, right, something interesting. Right now it just looks like bunch of like random colors spots, but I'm sure when it's going to be finished it's going to be gorgeous, beautiful, and it's all going to make sense. I think a little bit more needs to be stitched in order to see a bigger picture, and it's not an easy stitch as I expected to be. I'm very happy that I reached out, I believe, to Riolis and ask the saga file for the saga app. They give it to me. So now I have Saga, and that's why the progress just flies. But if you look closely, there's group of stitching. You know, it's not like you're taking one color and you just filling it out. Like for example here, no. Most of it, it's group of stitching. This right here, it's this brown, orange, and then the mix of those two. Same over here, I believe there was a mix. Like it's not the one that you can grab just a lone floss and fill it out really quick. You working in a little groups, and especially because you don't stitch black on black, you need to be extra careful seeing how you're going to stretch your floss, so when the project is done, the bright orange not peeking through over here through black either. So it's not as easy as I thought it would be, but I'm enjoying it. It's hard for me to put it down. If I sit to start working on it, I am dedicated. I want to keep working in it. And because now I have Saga, when I start working in it, I, of course, marked what's already been stitched, and I think it was around 2%, and now altogether it's 7%. So I stitched about 5% of the project in the first couple weeks of September. Super proud of myself. I started strong. Feel very confident that at least minimum mark of 25% will be achieved, and very, very excited to keep working in it. Now to the sad news. I lost one of these. So I have 1, 2, 3, and one more I'm missing. I am going to extra check everything else because there's like no way I throw it away. So I'm gonna extra check everything everywhere. Maybe it fell like in between the shelves and I just don't see it. But there's just 2 colors. But on a positive note, I know that 123 Stitch does sell wool acrylic by Riolis, and I know for sure I can reach out to them because they have amazing customer service. I can ask them what color those, and I can just order them. I know I can. But I'm very sad and upset with myself. I think while I was preparing to film everything, maybe the bag wasn't zipped all the way and it fell somewhere, which is, I'm so upset. Good news, so far I didn't need any of those 2 colors that on a 4th organizer. So far I'm doing good, working with the 3 that I do have. At least, you know, it's just 2 colors, not like another full organizer full of floss. But yeah, here is my progress so far on this project, and let's move on to a new start. If you subscribe to my Instagram, you already know I went kind of crazy. I have 3 new starts to show you. 2 of them technically is a finish, but not this one. This one is barely a start, but I just want to let you know that I do have this project now in my WIPs. So if you're interested, subscribe if you haven't yet to see a future progress, because I can guarantee this is going to be finished, maybe not time soon, but I will try to finish it by the end of this year because it's not a big project and it's totally can be a finish by the end of the year. This is Goddess Garden by Nora Corbett, Mirabilia. As you can see, I use the fabric that come key, so I'm just following the chart 100% through and through. The beads, the carrots, the DMC, the Krennic, everything I bought as it needed. Let me show you the floss. Not gonna show you DMC, we all love and know DMC, but I'm definitely gonna show you these fun colors right here. Gorgeous, beautiful. So this is Pine Forest, Glacier, and Olive Grove. As far as I know, each of them you need just a little bit in this project, so if you have leftovers it should be enough, but don't listen to me yet. I haven't finished it yet. I haven't got to these colors yet. So as you know, I like to make a separate video dedicated to interesting different projects, so I'm sure when I'm gonna finish this project I'm also gonna make a dedicated video just for it. However, a color, I think it's espresso, but here's a number 210. This one I would say you definitely need a full spoolie because there's a lot of stitching will be done with this color. And I will just show you the beads because if you've been thinking if you need this project or you don't need this project, I just want to show you the beauty that's going to be used. Look at this bright red yummy color. They're going to be used in this project, and if you're still debating, I say just go for it. It's not a big project. It should be quite easy, but of course I'm gonna give you my full review when I'm gonna be done with that. But as for right now, again, I just want to show you everything that I have over here. An acrylic, it's like silver with some pearlescent in it. That's the number of it. And let me bring my small, but yet it's still a start. And I warned you, it's a very tiny start, but yet it's still a start, and 2% actually already done. So I am closer to finish than when it was just in my stash pile. So I started from the top. I did stretch it over the frame because Mirabilia or any other big beads projects, I do like to stretch over the frame. That way it just makes the whole process way easier and faster. And right now I'm working on the top, which is not much fun. I actually started with that 210 espresso Karen water lilies, and you do stitch a frame around it with that color, so you can see some variation right here in this first row. And now I'm just working on filling the top, because this dark green and lighter green you see, it's a basic DMC color. I think it's 3021, the darker one, and then 3011, the green one, the lighter one after. So those you just need to push through it, just stitching row after row. But the second I get to these flowers, it's going to be so much fun. I am going to work on beads right away, and I'm actually thinking this time not to use my favorite Yuli floss, that invisible floss. I think I'm gonna use DMC floss because that will speed up the process. I can do crosses and beads at the same time. Also, lately I've been liking to use floss to match the DMC to match the beads, because sometimes it makes those beads just look brighter, yummier, more noticeable. But again, we'll see. Maybe it will be so complicated that it will be easier to use the Yuli floss. But I guess I will know when I get there. Right now, I just need to push through those rows of stitching. So I think like an hour before going to bed, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sit here, listen to my audiobook. Right now, I'm actually listening Dracula and stitching those rows by rows. But I just wanted to show you that I do have it as a whip right now. It's going to be actively stitching in the next month, and hopefully soon we're going to see a finish. I wanted to wait to show you this start, finish, and not really finish yet later. But this mess needs to be clean. It's driving me insane. And all of these colors and all of those beads were used to stitch this yummy, delicious, fun, sparkly watermelon. So I decided to participate in another SAL. This is by designer Yulia Sergeyenko, and she created, I will post a picture, SAL. Basically, everybody gets first chart as a watermelon, and you need to finish it. And when you finish it, you reach out to her and tell her like, okay, now I want to stitch onion, now I want to stitch a berry, and she will send you those. It's going from September 1st till November 1st. If you stitch all 9 designs, you will get a mystery 10th design. And after SAL is over, you will be able to buy those fruits, vegetables as a separate charts if you want to. If you guys interested to purchasing those charts, please let me know. I will reach out to the designer. I'll ask her to post those on her Boosty, and then eventually I will share with you the link. But unfortunately, you cannot participate in SAL anymore because I think you could be included in SAL till September 7th because it's only for like 2 months. So there's no longer you can join the SAL. And also SAL cost money. I think I spent $4 So technically it's the price, I think, for one chart, but if I will keep stitching one after another, and if I'll stitch all of them, technically I will spend only $4, you know, for all those 9 charts. But you don't get all 9 at the same time. You only get one at a time. So you need to finish one in order to get another one. And I am kind of curious which chart gonna be the 10th, but at the same time I don't want to stitch all of them. I only want to stitch, I think, 4 of those. So we'll see what's going to happen. But I got the watermelon. That was fun. First of all, I stitched on black plastic canvas, and I've never stitched on black plastic canvas before. I think I've never stitched on any colored plastic canvas before, only like white or clear milky color, but never black. So that was fun. And this project is not easy. Look at all these colors that needed to stitch. It's insane for such a small project. So there was around 1,000 stitches and around 500 beads. And in this case, as I was saying before, lately I've been liking it. I used matching DMC color to match those beads. The beads in chart are Preciosa beads, which I don't have. I have a collection of Mill Hill. So I've been just picking whatever the colors I like. So the Preciosa that goes right here, the darker green that I used, this one should be like dark blue, but I went with this one. I also picked this green. I also picked this green. Black, of course, I was able to match the black. Oh, and then also this green, which I don't know what color it is. It's a no name. I got it as a lot, but it worked out. I used it on this like slice of watermelon. And then orange, red. Actually, I didn't use this red. I just brought it to pick which one I want. I used this one. And a pink. Pink was a surprise for me. But in Preciosa, there's some kind of pink color too. So there we go. I've stitched the watermelon. And of course, I already reached out and asked for my next chart. Can you guess what it was? If you know me, of course, it's a pomegranate. Pomegranate gonna be fun. You will have to use here some beads, like maybe biconuses. So that would be fun to see what I have in my stash and experiment with that. Yes, when I stitch on plastic, I'm using the same type of fixing the floss. When I'm going to stitch the next color, I'm just going to stitch over that floss and then cut it. But I hate going, like turning my plastic and trying to fit my needle. It's just so uncomfortable. I absolutely hate it. So this is the best, the most comfortable way for me to fix the floss. And here is a start of pomegranate. And I think right here you can see what I'm talking about. That's not an easy chart. You use so many colors and you only stitch in it so little with that, like a little bit of this white, a little bit of the cream, a little bit of the gold, a brown, a red, a pink, another pink, a deeper red. So it's like a groups of stitching, and there's lots of beads. I think there's 1,000 stitches all together including beads, but I don't remember which one, how many of which. So technically it's supposed to be less than watermelon. So hopefully I will be able to finish it sometime soon. And in next stitch updates, I will be able to show you this one too, because I also really want to stitch corn. I think it's super cute. And I also want to stitch, I forgot the name of that berry in English, but it's like, it's a berry. Again, I'll post the picture so you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know if I will stitch more from the rest of them. I am curious to see what's gonna be the 10th mystery fruit or vegetable, but if I really like it, I guess I can always buy it separately. and I don't want to force myself on stitching all of them because they are not easy, and there's so much that I wish to start this fall. And now let's see one more start and finish that I was able to do in the past couple weeks. And I showed you this kit in my fall stash video. This is Jarita, or I guess you can translate it as Phoenix. And I've decided that for me, this is totally a fall kit. I think because it's like retro elements, retro something old, and it goes with fall perfectly, at least in my brain. So I knew I want to start it. What makes me also happy, this kit I purchased very recently, so it's not going to be one of those that are going to be staying in my collection forever waiting for its turn. So original, you're supposed to stitch it on plastic canvas that comes in a kit. So there's two projects, right, on one of these will fit, so 4 all together. It does come with a felt that you can use as a bag, and it also comes with this type of magnet that I guess you need to cut them because I think I only have 2, but it feels very weak. Like, I don't think it's a strong magnet. But technically, they suggest for you to turn this plastic projects into little magnets. Also going to show you the floss. Again, I completely finished the project. And as you can see, I did not use plastic canvas. So we have lots of browns, bright colors like red and yellow, lots of greens, and then these beige colors over here. So all together, this kit had 21 colors. And again, as you can see, I did not use the plastic canvas. I decided to stitch it on Belfast. I have this Belfast right here. So this is the fabric I had in my stash. This is 32nd count, Belfast, color 18. I honestly don't know. I ordered it from Etsy. I used to have a favorite store on Etsy. Now, unfortunately, they don't deliver to here anymore. So I'm hoping I eventually will able to find more of this fabric because it's very fun or something similar. It's not showing you exactly like it's in real life. It kinda, I guess, yeah, it is that kind of sand grayish undertone fabric with gold lutex in between, and that's the fabric I've chose. And if you put the floss on top of it, it's so bright, it's popping compared to this fabric. So I decided to risk it and stitch the projects on this fabric, and I absolutely love the results. I filmed a little clips on 3 of these. For the lamp, I forgot to film it before backstitching, and I'm gonna show you, of course, the final result with the backstitch. So I started from this suitcases with roses. That was my first pick, and here how it looked without any backstitching. Here. And now you can see the huge difference. The backstitching saved this project. Some kits you look and you're like, why do I need backstitching? And some you don't even question it. You just know it's necessary. So here is the first finish from 4 of those. That's the one I stitched first, and I'm very happy that I started with this one. This one, it's the most like lots of details, lots of color changing, lots of different backstitch. I think there's 3 colors of backstitching were used, like that super dark brown. I was very happy. Even if it wasn't it, I would probably use that dark brown instead of the black. I think because it was a dark brown, it looks more elegant than if it was a black color. And that was just 1 string of floss, and then 2 in white and 2 in yellow. And here we have suitcases with roses in it. Next one, I did oh my goodness, I forgot. Record player, right? I think that's how you say it in English. And if I will have that video still, I will show you first how it looked like without any backstitching. And here is my result with backstitching. This was so fast to stitch compared to the very first one I picked, because basically you grab in a color and you just fill it in till the color is done. I was able to stitch my favorite way, which is you pick in one color and you are completely trying to finish it, and then you grab in the next one, and it's just like layer after layer just keep growing. And it was super fast, super enjoyable. The only thing that made me nervous, it's this color. I think it's either 11 or 12 on the organizer, and then you make a mix of white with that, and without backstitching you cannot see the difference between that color and the fabric. They are perfect match, but then backstitch happening and it looks great in my opinion now. The next I stitched was a lamp, and it was like such a quick stitch. I didn't even made a video without backstitching because I finished it. I feel like I sit down and by the time I was ready to get up, it was a finish. So I don't have a clip to show you the difference with or without backstitching, but here is final result of the lamp. I think if I remember correctly, that's the only one where half stitch was used, but I like it. It totally makes sense because it's that light out of the light in the middle. So that's totally makes sense why why half stitch were used around it. Same, we have the same type of flower repeating in this one too, same colors I used, but this case I wasn't nervous at all. I knew when backstitch will be done, that to match with the fabric will be gone. So when I was stitching the lamp, I already knew what to expect. And here is the result of the lamp. And finally, the telephone. Here is a final result. That's the only one that doesn't have the bright yellow colors, but we have roses, which is matching with the very first one. So everything working great, fine, looks great together. And this was the biggest one and it was my last one, but again it was super easy to stitch because I was playing again my favorite game of grabbing one color, trying to completely take it out of the project, grabbing the next one, and so on and so on. I will say that this type of kits do have a very short cut of floss. So here's floss folded in half. For me, this is short, because if I take just one floss, fold it in half, and that's the only length I have, normally I would totally hate it. But this is very small projects, and the plastic canvas, it's 14th count. I stitch on 32nd, so I made my project even smaller than they supposed to be, right? And in this case, that short cut of the floss totally made sense because you switch that floss so many times in between that you don't really need a big cut. There were some moments when I would just pick two flosses, fix them like I would fix the blend and work like that. Great, it was enough length. I worked out perfectly, and not once I was upset with the short cut of the floss. And I also think the preview and the final results are different, where with my finish I'm way happier than with the preview. There's the suitcase, there's a telephone. They look way brighter in real life. There's the lamp and a record player. I am going to make pin clips out of this finishes to decorate my fake little white tree that I still have carrots from springtime because it's the only pin clips I have. but this is going to be my fall themed pin caps. So I'm very, very excited to finish them. As you can see, I already put the backing. I just need to pick what kind of fabric I want to use for the back and what kind of trim I want to put around. I have so many options. I just need to be in that great, amazing once in a blue mood to create, to put stuff together. And pin caps, they do take a lot of time. For me, at least, I spent an hour just to finish one pin cap. So it also needs to be a day when I have lots of time, maybe not in the mood for cross stitching, but definitely in the mood to fill some projects. When I was filming my fall stash video, I didn't show you any digital charts that I have, and I've been actually thinking about them for almost a year. So I'm going to include some in here now. I have this gorgeous fabric that I bought purposely for this project right here. I'm just gonna show you my, maybe I should answer the picture, but anyway, this is Online Designer. This is the free chart by them, and I think it's going to be a very fun project where I will try to stitch it as it is, which is everything in DMC floss, but I also want to add some variation floss to make it fun and interesting and different. Of course, the year needs to be different over here, but I think it's a very fun fall themed sampler like project, and I think it's going to be super easy to stitch. It should be one of those, again, that I stitch maybe before bed or when I don't have much time, because it's going to be one of those where you just sit and stitch row by row, but it's very, very cute. I don't want to open it yet because we're going to see all those little details when I'm going to start it, but this is another digital chart. I will try not to forget to put a link in the description. My window and my light is glaring so much, but you can find this designer on Etsy. So many beautiful charts. I actually purchased 3 different charts, but I do want to start with this one. I colored the fabric myself. There's a great, what I like about this designer, she does provide substitution for the variation floss in DMC, so I'm gonna use that. But some colors, she said, like there's no substitution, and she will recommend to use either whatever you would pick or just to go with variation. So variation floss that you see, that's the ones that there's no substitution in DMC. And then there's lots of Mill Hill treasures and beads, very fun to work with. And I also think if I start it, it's not going to be big of a project. Let me tell you. Well, it's a medium size. There's 8,400 stitches. That would be back stitching and beads and stitching all together. But I think still it's very possible. And then in the previous one that I showed you with leaves and clock, ooh, that one is big too. I didn't realize it. It's almost 10,000 stitches. For some reason, I thought it's going to be way smaller, but it's okay. I can start it this year and finish the next ones. And let's move on to the project that you already seen, but I finally, I think, found a great fabric for them. This one, I need your opinion. So again, this is Empa Studio. They don't have a name, they just have a number. So here's the number of it. I know it's not going to be a finish this year for sure, but I do want to start it because it's been in my it's been in my stash for 2 years now. I think it's time for me at least start it. And this is the fabric that I am picking in between. So either this polka dots, which I like how it's not bright, still noticeable, it will add some dimension because I do not like the light background on this project. It looks too simple. I wanted to make it a little bit dramatic, if you will. Or should I do these white flowers? Because I feel like there's some white flowers in the bouquet, but at the same time, then I will make it spring project, you know, not like a fall project. Don't know why for me it's a fall project. I feel like it's like early September, end of August vibes. We have some berries and honey that we harvest. Those flowers usually bloom in the end of August. So I feel like for me, right now, September, it's time to start it. If I don't start it in September, I don't think I'm gonna start it this year at all. So please help me to choose which fabric for this project will be the best. Maybe I don't see something, maybe you will have completely different idea, but in my head, I want either this one or this one. So please help me to choose which one I should go for. A chart that I completely forgot to show you. This is Cricket Collection super popular chart. Super popular. This is plain with jacks. And I'm kind of debating my choice. Forgive me, this is not iron. But I colored this fabric myself last year. And I think it's too busy for this project. I actually think I should probably go with something simple or grab a plain fabric and color it with coffee or tea. I think that would be better because I feel like this is too busy and it's gonna take all the attention from this chart. So I am looking forward to hear your opinion about this fabric for this chart, or should I color or get a new one similar the one that on preview. And I know I've said it before that I am not going to start more than one Mirabilia at a time, but I think it's finally I'm gonna break my own rule because I cannot stop thinking about this gorgeous chart. This is my Ladies Garden, 0 beads. So if you don't like beads, this one you don't use any. However, you will need 2 cranics and 3 Karen water lilies. And I finally able to get them. I was wondering where you use the cranic. So here is the cranic that is needed. Both of them supposed to be HL though, and I don't. One is the blending and one is HL, and I found this in my stash, so I possibly will have to think it through. But I do believe you use them as a blend, and this gorgeous gate right in the middle, you stitch a full gate with just blend of these 2 cranics. That's it. So if I will start it, I will probably start it from the middle, and it's going to be right into this gorgeous fun metallic part. And then I ordered Karen water lilies that it's needed for this project, and they are absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. So I believe that blue, purple, and pink you see on the preview, that's the cranic. So just by looking at preview and slightly looking at the chart, you do need full spoolies of these colors, because in this case you are going to use a lot of them. And finally, to the fabric, I looked through my stash. I had a day, it was actually very fun, where I put the pile of the charts and I just dive in all the fabric that I have. And I found this cut. This is 32nd count Belfast 18 by 27. And the stitching area over here is 18 by 14. So the fabric will be enough. And I needed natural linen, and this is flax, but I think it's close enough, and I like the idea that I'm going to use what I have in my stash, and just by looking at the preview, it's very close enough. And again, I really like the idea of using what I already have in my stash. So I was so happy where I found not exactly, but very similar fabric that I will be able to use. So all of this, it's all the extra materials you need. Everything else, it's a huge list of DMC colors. And now I just need to start it and also think through what I'm gonna do with this. This is 011. Maybe I have blended filament on 011. We'll see. Maybe I will mix this too. Maybe it will work out. I don't know. We'll see. I will experiment with that. Maybe I will have to start it now from the middle from the side somehow count it all properly so I don't make any mistakes. And then I don't need to stress over it, because Kreinik right now, it's not that easy to find. And now I have a little bit more of the cross stitch hole to show you, and let's move on to that part. Starting with charts, I got this fun booklet by Mill Hill. I think there's nothing inside yet except charts. So we're gonna just look closely on the preview. Each of this I want to stitch. Every single one of them is so much fun. It's so different. So over here it's all like Halloween type of charts, and then over here it's more like fall charts, and every single one of them is absolutely beautiful. And some of them gives me anxiety of just imagining how to collect all those buttons and floss and special treasures. This is gonna be so expensive. This is ridiculous. Like the amount of the leaves you need over here, those treasures, they are super pricey, but I think it's gonna totally worth it. And nobody tells me that I have to follow it exactly. Maybe I'll be able to find some substitution. I really like this one. And it's a big size of the leaflet. Like, look at this. But if you're gonna open any of the keys for any of these charts, for example, Harvest Table Runner. Which one is that? This one. By just looking on the preview, well, yeah, DMC floss and some Mill Hill beads, right? And then you open the key and look at it. DMC is easy, Mill Hill Kids is also possible, and then treasures, 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 buttons, buttons, buttons. And pretty much for each chart is gonna look like this, where you have to have a lot. So finding a rare booklet, it's one thing, but collecting those truly treasures, that's completely different thing. It cannot be done overnight. I mean, it can, but you need to make a choice, either buy treasures from one project or buy a couple more kits by dimensions, you know. So it depends totally on what kind of mood I will be, but I'm very happy that I was finally able to get this booklet. Finally, I found the Trade Winds by Teresa Wenzler. I keep buying the charts by her, like I stitch her, you know, easy peasy every month getting finished. But Samantha, Hugo's teacher, she is teaching this project right now, and I'm obsessed, and I wanted it even before she started it, and then she started it. I'm like, that's it, I'm getting it. 100%, I'm starting it. So maybe I will break my rule here too, and from all the charts by Teresa that I have, I might have a bite on this one too, because this is just too beautiful. Too beautiful. Teresa, it's not easy to find. I am dreaming about all 4 carousel horses. Not all of her charts I want, but some of them still I'm missing, like these flowers I want. I do believe I have this one. I think it's in the magazines that I own. I do want these ones, and I do believe I have a cat in the magazine too. So I'm very close to finishing the collection, at least the ones that I want by her. Again, not all of them, but most of them. And another good news, this is computer printed chart, not drawn by hand, so it's gonna be not an easy, but at least not as complicated as some of her charts that drawn by hand. So one more chart is added to my stash. Moving on to the kits. If you, as I, thought that I'm done with dimensions because I already have over 100 kits just by that brand, yeah, no, that's not happening. There's so many more that in my wish list, and if I see them, I will get them. This one I've been hunting for around a year, and finally on eBay there's a good like load of those just been popping. This is reprinted. As you can see, it's a new packaging. So if you've also been looking for this kit, go on eBay. Yes, it's a little bit pricier than a regular price, but still it's not like 150 like it was before. I think I got mine for like $50, which for this kit is super rare. It's a great price. This is Sweetheart Skate. I've been eyeing this kit for so long. Who knows, maybe next spring I will start it, because it could be one of those that sometimes will not let me sleep at night. I'm like, I want it. Everybody's stitching it. I want to stitch it too. Gorgeous colors, very my colors. So I am looking forward to starting this kit possibly next spring. Sunset, but same dimensions. Another kit that I've been hunting for a long time. Another kit that price has been too huge just because it's rare. So another kit that I've been looking for around a year, and I finally found a price that I agreed to pay for. It's gorgeous Shore Sampler. This is by Sunset. By Sunset, it's dimensions. And there's just lots of beautiful elements. I also like the idea how they show you right here in the corner. Maybe just stitch it just like that, make it a little bit smaller. Also looks beautiful, but I think I'm going to stitch a full thing, like including these three, because I think altogether it just looks absolutely adorable. The kit has been opened because I think probably the package got busted, but everything that I will need to stitch it is inside and just waiting for me to start it. And then I keep buying Janlin kits too. That is another brand that I really like. This is a bear collector. Bears lately been another my laser focus lately. Like the kids with them just calling my name. They are so funny, they are so retro, there's so many of them, absolutely adorable. And I decided that I need to have this kit in my collection. What makes me sad is that on background we definitely see some kind of linen, where in the kit it's an Ida. Lots of floss, look at it, and even some beads and a button. The beads I think go right here on this bear bow, and the button goes right here. I think it's super adorable. Oh, looks like also we'll have to make a little bow out of ribbon, but I see green ribbon. There's a green ribbon, but here it looks more blue, but maybe it's just they changed a little bit the colors when they posted the preview. But anyway, here is my Bears by Janlin. And a kit that I wasn't even hoping to ever find. This is super rare. It's extremely rare kit. And guess what? It's Sandy Orton, it's Janlin, and it's Kooler Design Studio. So pretty. There's another two angels in this collection, which I was not able to find. You stitch it on perforated plastic. Look at that, fun metallics, beautiful colors, absolutely gorgeous. So many elements to add on. Like this is fun, this is beautiful and interesting, this is different, and I like her halo. Beautiful. I honestly was just checking eBay for it, and of course was no luck. I was checking Etsy, there's no luck. Any other websites that I know of, there's no luck. And then as it's been lately happening to me, I will be sitting there and all of a sudden I'm like, I want to go check out the eBay. I will open and it's like suggested for you and it's popping. So it's like was calling my name. So yeah, I just randomly found it on eBay, and maybe, who knows, eventually I will be able to find the other two too. On this beautiful note, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I would love to hear your opinion about the fabrics that I found. especially for that Ampa Studio, the flowers, the polka dots, or none of that. Maybe you have another idea that I should hear. So let me know in the comments. I think my first couple weeks of fall stitching started absolutely amazing. I'm super proud of myself. I already have 2 small finishes, and that's just motivates me to stitch even more. Again, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I will see you very, very soon, hopefully with more updates. And happy stitching, enjoy your fall, and I will see you soon. Bye!